Hey, so I'm here again for the lesson 5, so imaging and design for online environment. So in this lesson, guys, I'll be teaching you how to manipulate images and how to use that, how to create images using the different platforms. So please stay on the video so you will be able to know what are those things that I'll be sharing with you today. So again, this is Ariel. So if you're new to my channel, make sure to subscribe and hit the bell icon so you will be updated to all the videos that I'll be sharing with you. Okay, let's move on. Right, so what are the objectives for this lesson? So basically, you would be able to understand the basic principles of graphics and layout. You know how to apply that in all your designs and be more creative. So create a simple infographic using the web tools. So we'll be able to know what infographic is and how are you going to create that using the different web tools. Also understand the use of several file formats which we actually use in the website. And you can easily manipulate images using the simple image editor. Alright, so what are the things that I'm going to discuss with you today? So first, the basic principles of graphics and layout, principles and basic techniques of image manipulation, and then infographics. Okay. Now, what is an online environment, guys? So this is normally if we are using the internet and we're browsing the World Wide Web, we're using the social media, so those are online environment. So we call ourselves as netizen whenever we are using the online environment. So in an online digital community, so we actually get a lot of information nowadays, but it is also important that we know what information to get and how those information will help us. Okay. Now, what is a visual communication? So, in browsing the internet or the World Wide Web, we normally see different images, pictures, informative infographics, posters, and many more. So, those are kind of visual communication, meaning those pictures that we normally see, is actually giving us a certain information that we should be aware of, especially the infographics and the poster. So through the use of that medium, then it will be able to be more will be able to be more informed on what the information they are trying to convey. So it's very important that we also know how to create those things, right? So that we can also share our ideas to all people, to other people using the those kind of platform or materials. Be more creative enough and put in the information there and share it to the other people. Now let us talk about the infographics. So what is infographics? So from the word itself, info and then graphics. That's the root word. So information through the use of graphics or images or pictures. So I have here two examples of those things. So here it says 5 tips to keep your chin up. So this is something in a sequence, step-by-step procedure, and they use graphics to show us what are those 5 tips. Okay. Now on the other example, it gives us an information on their product, like homemade green cleaning products. So it's something that they actually created in order to showcase what their product is. So you can also do that in creating an infographics. Now we have 3 elements of the infographics that you should know. And what are those? First one, the visual elements. So it's something to do with the color coding, graphics, and reference icons. So without this, it's no longer considered as a infographic. So you have to make sure that your infographics has color coding, it has graphics as well, and then icons that might help in order for you to deliver the message of your infographics. Second one is the content elements. So this is something to do with the time frames, statistics, and the references. So make sure that you have those sources where you get the information from, and of course you have your contact details where The viewers can actually contact you if you are trying to promote a product or something else. And lastly, the facts or the knowledge element. So it consists of the facts. Make sure that the information you're going to put there is true. So do not put information that there's nothing relevance in the topic that you're trying to make for your infographics. Now, there are also different types of infographics. So this is something to do with the topic that you would like to do, and you can choose among these types depending on what is appropriate. So we have the first one, cause and effect infographics. So when you say cause and effect from the word itself, it's something to do with the infographics that show the causes and effect. Like let's say you are going to create an infographics about earthquakes. So there should be an information about cause, what is the cause of the earthquakes, and then what is the effect of earthquakes. All right, so that is very simple. So you can also do that as part of your infographic so that the viewers can be informed about the topic that you would like to share with them through the visual or the infographics. Second is the chronological or directional infographics. So this is something to do with the first example earlier. Like there are step-by-step procedures. The process involves as well. So like for example, you would like to create an infographics about cooking, like how to cook adobo. So you can use the chronological or directional infographics to inform the people about that particular meal or dish. Now the third one is quantitative infographics. So this is something to do with numbers from the word quantity. So it involves like charts or graphs. So you can also use that, or statistics. So let's say you would like to put in the COVID cases. So you can use quantitative infographics to inform the public about what's going on with the COVID cases. Yep. Next is product infographics. So this is the second example that I showed you earlier. Like if you would like to promote the products, then you can actually use this as part of your infographics. So let's say you have a new product, then you would like to inform the public about that. Then you can use product infographics. All right, so I guess that is it. So let us just recall what are the different types of infographics and the different elements. So again, the elements, we have visual elements, we have content elements, knowledge elements. So those three are very important part of infographics. Now for the different types of infographics, we have cause and effect, we have the chronological and directional, quantitative, product infographics. Now let's proceed to the online image file formats. So these are very common to us, especially if we're using Google Images. So those are that website is very useful to us if we would like to get free or royalty-free images that we can use in our presentation. So the first one is, we call it the JPEG or JPG. So this is Joint Photographics Expert Groups. So it's a real-life photographs, high compression, but it does not support transparency and automation. So that is the first one. Second is the GIF or graphics interchange format. So it is a computer-generated graphics, and sometimes it supports transparency and supports animation, but not that high compression or high resolution. Now we have the third one, the PNG, the portable network graphics. So it also high compatibility, and it supports transparency, but it does not support animation. So this is normally applied like for logo and other important images that we use in our presentation, or even in let's say we would like to create a logo for our business. So it should be PNG. So meaning the background is transparent. Okay, those are the different image file format. Again, we have JPEG, we have GIF, and then we have PNG. Now let's continue with the basic principles of graphics and layout. So the first one is balance. So when you say balance, the weight it's gonna be I mean, all the elements that you're going to use there should be balanced. Meaning when you see it and when you see it visually, you will be able to see the proportion of the different elements that you're going to put in your design. Like if you're going to create an infographics, so there should be a balance from the beginning or the top, at the middle, and then on the lower portion of your infographics. It shouldn't be more over decorated. Now for the emphasis, it says stand out. So there should be at least one element on your work, or on your let's say you're going to create infographics or poster. There should be one element there that should be stand out. So when the viewers see that, then they will automatically identify, okay, that is the information that I would like to share. So with the specific element there that actually stands out. So let's say for example, you are creating a infographics or poster for the webinar, then you should be able to give more emphasis to the title of the webinar and then the word itself, so they will be able to identify that, all right, this is a webinar that they are conducting. And also the date, you can also have it stand out, so they will identify when is that webinar. Now for the movement, it is the illusion of action. So it's something to do like, if we're going to take a look at the picture, there is a series of action. Like if you will be on the picture, then it will definitely ask you to move from a certain position, from a certain point of reference to the other position. That is the movement. Now for the pattern, repetition, and rhythm, so there is an element on your design that actually gives you the same element, or it actually repeated over that particular design. So later I'll show you an example of that. Okay. Next, we have the proportion. So there should be a unity on all the elements or design that you're going to put there. So it should be relevant to the topic that you would like to share with the viewers. And the location or the position of those elements should be proportion to the overall appearance of your work. Now variety, it actually gives a viewer's attention, so it creates a certain part there that will make your viewers interested in checking or analyzing on what information you would like to tell. Now for the contrast, this is also very important. So we'll be able to see the opposite elements. Like on the presentation, if the background is dark, then you should be able to use a light design or text. If the background is light, then you should use a dark text so that it would be more visible to the viewers. Now we're done with the pattern, repetition, and rhythm. Now let's identify what principles of design shown on the picture. Now for this one, we can see that it is proportion as well and balance. So as you can see, we also have emphasis. So Google is the font is actually bigger and it has different color to emphasize that this is a Google website. And then it put it on the middle to give us information that this is also balance, and the proportion is there. So you have one element here, and then on the bottom we also have one element, and the location, as you can see here, so it is on the same size or distance. So this is an example of that particular principle. Now secondly, we have the rhythm, repetition, and pattern. So as you can see, there are certain design that repeated, like this one or in this one, and all other designs here. So that is what we call the pattern, repetition, and rhythm. Next off is the movement. So as you can see, when you look at the the picture, it's like giving you an idea to go in that direction. So there is a certain action of movements, or yep. So uh, it will make your eye go to a specific location on the picture, right? So this is movement. Now, this is something to do with the variety and emphasis. So as you can see, we have where the person, the middle. Next up, we have the contrast. So there is certain portion that is darker, a certain portion that is lighter. Okay, so this is something to do with contrast. All right, that is it. Now for the last one, we have the principles and basic techniques of image manipulation. So these are the steps. So the first one, you have to choose what file format you're going to use. What kind of format you would like to have for your image. So we have the JPEG or JPG, GIF, or we have the PNG, and then you have to choose the right image size based on what kind of pictures you're going to make. Is it an infographics, a poster, invitation, or is it a logo? So you have to determine that. And lastly, the caption or the information needed for your for the creation or for the work that you're going to do or for the picture. So you should prepare that so that whenever you start doing it, then you already have all the information needed for that. Okay, so I guess that's it for this one. And basically, guys, for the image manipulation, we can use the different platforms like Canva, Adobe Photoshop, and all other application that is very helpful and that you can actually use it. All right, thank you so much. And again, this is Ariel, and you have a good day. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel.